Hello, welcome to this 15-minute yoga for active recovery. This is a class that I put together. It is 10 different yoga poses that you can do on an active recovery day. So if it's your rest day, you've been working out, you've been lifting weights, you've been doing powerlifting, CrossFit, pickleball, whatever it is that you've been doing, you're training for triathlon, doesn't matter. This is your active recovery day. So I've got 10 different poses that I put together. We're going to go over those poses in today's yoga session. And what I wanted to do is I put this together into a document for you. It's got each individual pose in here, explaining how to do all of them. So if you're newish to yoga, this is a really great guide to go over all 10 poses that we're going to do today. And then on the very last page of the document, I got every single pose that we're going to do. So what you could do is you could print this up, put it in front of you. And if you wanted to do this sequence faster or slower, today we're going to do about 15 minutes, but you can certainly hold these poses longer if they feel better for you. Hold them longer and take more time. Totally okay. So my name is Heather. I'm from heathermonti.com. And you can find out all of my different offerings, my yoga sessions, my coaching, all that kind of stuff on my website. And there's going to be no music today. We're going to do this, no music. You can either just listen to your surroundings or you can turn on your favorite playlist, whatever yoga music you would like to listen to today. So first pose we're going to come into today is child's pose. So you're going to bring your feet together, knees apart, sit back into your hips, extend your hands out in front of you, and just rest your head, rest your chest down towards the earth. And if you're lucky like me, you'll have a nice little helper. This is Cole. So when you're ready, you can come up to all fours into a tabletop position. The next pose we'll do is called cat-cow. So we're going to raise our heads up and then come back into our cow pose. Bringing our hips forward, pushing our hands, spreading out the shoulder blade. We're just going to do this a few rotations. You can also rotate your wrists, give them a good stretch. If you've been doing a lot of weightlifting, sometimes I can get a little tight, especially if you do a lot of work on the computer too. This can get pretty tight. And then just continue in your cat-cow. And when you're ready, lift your left arm up towards the sky and bring it in through your right hand, where it's called thread the needle. You can extend your right arm out in front of you, or you can bring it to your low back for a bind, whichever you choose, whichever is more comfortable for you, whatever feels good. If you've had a heavy arm week, taking this bind might feel really good on your shoulders, your biceps. And you can see Cole has a bed. He just doesn't like to use it. He likes to help mom. And when you're ready, you can come back up to tabletop. Shake everything out. Then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So raise your right arm up to the sky and thread the needle, extending your left arm out in front of you, or taking the bind, whichever you prefer, whichever feels good for you. When you're ready, slowly make your way back up to tabletop. Sway your hips back and forth, front and back, whatever feels good for you. Get that tension out. Rotate your wrist. And then press your hands just about a hand's length in front of you and come back into a downward facing dog pose. Here, we're working on stretching out our backs. You can certainly have a bent knee here. And the goal here is not to get your heels to touch the ground. We're working here to stretch your back out. So bend your knees as much as you need. If your hamstrings are tight, you can see mine are pretty tight if you're watching. That's okay. That's why we do this. And then slowly start to walk towards the middle of your mat. Come up to a halfway lift. And then a forward fold. So you've got a couple different options here depending on the tightness of your hamstrings. You can come to a halfway lift. You can come all the way down and place your hands on the earth. You can place your hands on blocks. You can also grab opposite elbows or even grab around the backs of your knees, whichever feels best for you. And when you're ready, plant your hands out in front of you. I'm going to use my blocks here. You do not need to. You can place your hands on the earth. And you're going to step your right foot back and come into a low lunge. So you can either hold the blocks here, or you can rise up into your low lunge. You can take a slight back bend, or you can stay in your low lunge, or you can stay here at your blocks or your hands on the earth as well. Either way, what we're looking for here is a nice hip flexor stretch. So wherever feels good for you, that's what we're going to do here. So this is my boy. He's 16 or 17 years old, so he's attached to my hip. And then when you're ready, bring your right foot forward. Take a halfway lift just to reset. And then come back down, bring your hands to the earth, hands to your blocks, whatever feels best for you. Take your left foot back into your low lunge. Same thing here. You can have your hands on the earth, on blocks, or you can rise up into your low lunge and maybe even take a slight back bend. Again, whatever feels good for you here. The purpose here is to stretch out that hand or that hip flexor. Okay, and then if you have blocks, go ahead and set them aside. Bring your left foot forward, come into a standing forward fold again, halfway lift. Hands to the earth, come back to a downward facing dog. Then we're going to rise our right leg up, bring it up to the front of our mats, bring your knee to your right hand, extending your left leg out behind you, straight out behind you. This is our half pigeon pose. So you can hold this right here. You can hold blocks. If you would like, you can put blocks underneath your hip, wherever you need some support. And then you can also come forward into the pose as well. So again, whatever feels good for you. You should feel the stretch in your right hamstring, your right glute. And you might feel it in your groin as well. When you're ready, you can kick your right leg back, come up into a downward facing dog. Hold the pose here for a moment. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Bring your left knee to your left wrist, coming into your half pigeon on the other side. Extend your right leg out behind you. You have the same options here. You can use the blocks. Put the blocks behind your hip, under your hands to bring the earth up a little bit higher for you, whatever feels good. That's the point for today. When you're ready, come back up to a downward facing dog. And then walk your feet towards the middle of your mat. Come to a halfway lift. Forward fold. Then we're going to come down into a seated position on our mats. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Let your knees fall. Let the gravity help with the stretch here. You can extend your feet out if you want a little less intensity. You can bring your feet in closer into you if you'd like some more intensity. You can also place a block underneath each one of your knees if you need some additional support there as well. So you got a couple different options here. And if you'd like a deeper stretch, you can inhale and then slowly start to bend forward. Hinge at the hips. And then relax your head. Then you can just flutter your wings. Feel that stretch. Feels real good. This is one of my favorites. Next, we're going to come back on to our backs, placing our left foot on the ground and the right foot on the top of your left knee. And then you can raise up your left leg if you would like, placing your hands behind your left thighs. This is going to give you an additional stretch here on your glute, your hamstring. You can rotate your foot either direction. Work out that ankle. Place your right foot down to the earth, both feet down to the earth. Place your left foot on your right knee. For your figure four, you can place your hands behind your hamstring, your right hamstring. Again, rotating those feet, rotating those ankles. Place both feet back down towards the earth. Place your arms in your cactus arms or straight out. If you have enough room to do T arms, you can do that as well. I'm going to do the cactus arms here just based on my space. And you're going to drop your both knees over to the right-hand side, making sure you're keeping the left shoulder blade grounded to the earth. So if you're experiencing a little tightness, you might not be able to bring both knees to the earth. That's okay. If you want to extend the stretch, you can straighten your left leg out in front of you, bring it up higher, wherever you need. Yes, you're a good helper. Bring your knees back to center. And then we're going to drop our knees over to the left-hand side. Same thing, making sure that you keep your right shoulder blade to the earth. And you can turn and look to the right. And bring your knees back to center. Extend your feet out in front of you. Come into your Shavasana. I don't have this on the page. You can certainly do this. This is a great time to just chill, relax, listen to the sounds in the room, traffic, nature, wherever it is that you are. So we're going to take just a moment here. When you're ready, start to come back up to a seated position. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. So thank you for joining me today for this 15-minute yoga for active recovery. I hope that you found it helpful. Again, my name is Heather from heathermonthi.com. If you would like to download today's sequence that we did so that you can do this at your own pace, however long you would like to do it, you can go to heathermonthi.com. I've got the link in the description below for you as well. And I hope to see you in our next class. Thank you.